Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we talk with Harry Moser, a rancher from Wheaton and now past president of the Kansas Livestock Association. We'll also have features from Kansas Corn, Kansas Wheat, and the Kansas Farm Bureau, and our weekly updates from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, KFB.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
In agricultural news from agview.net, 7 months into the 2020-21 marketing year, USDA forecast total wheat exports reaching 26.8 million metric tons, which if realized would be 2% higher than the previous year. Now that number would also be 7% higher than the 5-year average. As of Christmas Eve, U.S. wheat commercial sales were 9% above last year's pace, 20.6 million metric tons, led by hard red winter wheat and hard spring wheat, as well as soft and hard white wheat. With total hard red winter wheat sales of 7.1 million metric tons are 3% ahead of last year and 7% above the 5-year average. Now, significantly increased exports to Nigeria and China offset reduced sales to Mexico, typically the largest market for hard red winter wheat. Farmers National Company says that what started as a better-than-expected sale price and land auction before last fall's harvest extended into the continued higher prices in October and November. Ag land prices have been fairly stable in recent years, despite the up-and-down agricultural economy. The demand for land is the driver of the current land price surge. They say values for good cropland are strong right now, with more farmers stepping up to buy, as well as a growing number of individual investors. Farmers National Company says buying interest from farmers has increased as they anticipate better income in 2020 than they once thought. Demand for all types of land also seen an increase. As a result of COVID-19, a growing number of individuals have become interested in land as an investment. The overall supply, though, of good cropland for sale is on the low side and similar to past years. And Debbie Stabenow, the senator from Michigan, poised once again to take the chairmanship of the Senate Ag Committee, and she's made a top priority to establish an agricultural carbon market. She said, as Ag Chair of the Ag Committee, I'm going to lead an effort to create a voluntary climate exchange and climate policy for farmers and ranchers. She said that's a top priority for her. More ag news at agview.net. Stay with us. More in a moment.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer and work with you.
Hi, my name is Josh Rowe, and I serve as the Vice President for Market Development and Public Policy at Kansas Corn. And wanted to provide a quick update about all sorts of great learning opportunities that we have coming up throughout the late January through the February timeframe. And like most other events these days, we had to move things to a virtual platform. The first set of events being our widely popular Kansas Kansas corn schools that are in partnership with K-State Research and Extension. Again, they'll be on a virtual format, and registration is available right now at our website, kscorn.com/events for these. The first session will kick off Thursday, January 21st. The second section will be Thursday, February 4th, and the third being Thursday, February 11th. All events start at 7 p.m. and will run approximately an hour and a half, feature 2 highly respected speakers, and then we'll have a live Q&A session. Additionally, our annual Kansas Corn Symposium will be the afternoon of January 28th from 1 to 3 p.m., where we're having 2 high-level corn and ethanol speakers, and then we'll do our required annual business of the year. So, things are looking a little different around here this year due to these virtual events, but looking forward to some great opportunities to interact in a virtual setting.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply. And joining us now is Harry Moser, who is from Wheaton and is now the immediate past president of the Kansas Livestock Association. And Harry, Happy New Year. And normally we would do this about a month earlier, but this good old COVID thing caused everything to be virtual this fall.
Yeah, we've learned, just as you and I are right now, this Zoom thing, we've learned to use it pretty efficiently and pretty effectively, really, to get our business done for the year.
Now, as we go throughout the program, probably the second part, we'll talk about maybe some reflections you have on your year as leading the state's largest livestock association. But let's, I guess, talk about matters at hand. Even though it was virtual, business was conducted a little bit different. You had several breakout meetings, and you did set policy for this coming year.
Yeah, we took care of the business end of things. Like you said, all the committees and councils met in Zoom meetings, and any member was allowed to register and take part in those. They brought forward any resolution that needed to be confirmed or new resolutions. And then we had the annual meeting the 17th of December, which we really didn't want to do, but the way things turned out, Wichita and Sedgwick County pretty much shut down their county and limited it to 25 people in a meeting. So it was a good choice on our part not to hold the in-person meeting and go with the Zoom meeting.
Also, it looked like from what we were able to see, you still had good industry and industry alliance partners that wanted to show their support to KLA.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate in that aspect that our sponsors stayed right with us and either funded some of it or said they're going to fund next year. They haven't backed away from it because they understand that too. They're doing business the same way. So we're very fortunate in that area.
What was the biggest challenge, I guess, facing the industry, maybe even non-related to COVID this past year?
I don't know, Ken. I think almost everything was related to COVID, or it seemed like it was. We had some ups and downs, especially with the market and trying to keep the packing houses open and flowing. That was definitely a big part of what happened, and that affected our market and it affected a lot of people. We were busy with our congressional group out in Washington with the PPP and the payments and trying to get those right. So really everything we kind of did was related to COVID. I mean, I'm trying to think of something that wasn't, but it seemed like everything we dealt with this year was with the virus.
And we're going to continue that part of the conversation as you can kind of reflect now. You've had a few weeks after the turning over as your presidency. So we'll talk about that and more. Harry Moser
from Wheaton, the immediate past president of the Kansas Livestock Association, is our guest. We'll have more in just a moment.
Kansans are saving money and getting quality coverage with Kansas Farm Bureau health plans.
We are happy with our Kansas Farm Bureau health plan. It's not only saving us money, but we're a few months into it now, so our local clinics and hospitals now do have all of that information in, and it's working well. We're pleased with it. I think people look at that $50 fee for a membership and think, oh, I don't have to do this with other companies. I'll spend that $50 to save $14,000 a year.
And our guest is Harry Moser from Wheaton, and he is the now past president of the Kansas Livestock Association. And normally we would do this right at the end of their annual meeting in Wichita, but that was virtual this year. And so, Harry, just want to give you the opportunity to reflect back on this year and the year that you were president, 2020, and in December of 19. You got the nice hat, and okay, it was your turn now to lead this organization. And I would guess over Christmas time, you had plans looking for what 2020 was going to be like. It turned out probably a whole lot different.
A whole lot different, Ken. We, starting in January, things were fairly normal. We actually made a trip out to Washington for the signing of the Canadian-Mexican-U.S. trade agreement, which was a good trip for us, and asked to sit not too far from President Trump as he signed that. And then we got into February and things got a little more questionable, and we actually had our last county meeting, I believe, March 9th. That was in person for quite some time. Fortunately, the Kansas Livestock Association has a really good working relationship with Kansas Department of Ag. And when we got into the market troubles and people leaving the packing houses because of the virus, we made sure that those people were considered essential. And I think that was one of the biggest things that we helped work through that part of it.
Go ahead.
And then we worked on through, and the market got tough, and we were at NCBA in August, which was in person, and that was really kind of neat to be able to sit down and discuss these things. And there's a big push in the industry for mandatory reporting. We have, the KLA has a position that we don't want to have the government involved in our markets, and we stuck to our guns and worked through a proposition out there with NCBA. Even with a conversation with Senator Roberts not too long ago, his words to us was, be careful what you want, what you wish for. It's easy to get mandatory pricing, but it might be tough to get rid of it once that goes into place. And so the markets and the workplace and the payments, like I said earlier, I think those were huge things that we were heavily involved in.
What's one thing you learned, not only maybe dealing with the pandemic, how maybe doing this and the effects maybe it had on your operation? Just what are maybe a lesson or two learned that you're going to keep with you?
Well, I think one of the big things, Ken, and I'm very proud of the KLA, but we have a great staff in Topeka. And they were very responsive, I think, to anybody and everybody that had questions for them. And there's all kinds of phone calls, questions, and they did a great job of doing that. I think the other part that was really encouraging to me is our board meetings. We never held an in-person board meeting the entire year. We had Zoom meetings. And I think except for maybe one meeting, we had every board member attend. And that speaks highly for those volunteer leaders that take it very seriously what's going on in our industry.
All right, Harry, as I like to do with these groups, when you get the opportunity, I just, kind of give you a 30-second commercial to talk to folks on why it's important to belong to associations. Why is it important to be a member of the Kansas Livestock Association?
Well, and I believe firmly in these kind of organizations, whether it's KLA or Farm Bureau or organizations that represent us. We don't have time. Most of us don't have time to go to Topeka and lobby, but we have people down there that watch out for our issues that are going on down in Topeka, as the NCBA does in Washington. We have attorneys on staff that can help anybody, members that have ag issues at no cost. I always broke down our membership. It's $120 a year. And what do you get anymore in this world for $120 a year? $10 a month. And you have representation, and you can have a voice in policy that is set in the industry. Those are huge, huge items. We're over 5,700 members. We're very proud of that. As my each one reach one push was, I was hoping to even do a little better than that, but up 4%. I think there's a lot of strength in our organization, and I think we represent the people that are in our business.
Well, Harry, again, appreciate your service, appreciate your time today to not only review what happened at the convention, but also your year as president of the Kansas Livestock Association. So thanks.
You bet, Ken. Anytime.
Harry Moser from Wheaton, the media past president of the Kansas Livestock Association, has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more coming up.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
The Kansas Yield Enhancing Strategies Project, funded with support from the Kansas Wheat Commission, aims to identify which combination of management practices makes the most agronomic and economic sense to improve yields and quality. According to Romulo Lolato, a wheat production specialist with K-State Research and Extension, there is a huge investment in wheat breeding and genetics in Kansas, and the yield potential of those varieties is much higher than what the majority of growers are producing. So how do we fill that gap? That's agronomy. In 2015, Lolato and his team went into the literature and identified 14 different management practices, from seeding rate to fungicide treatments to nitrogen applications and many more, and put them to work in the field. In 3 locations in over 2 years, researchers tested out each practice on its own and combined it together in one massive management system. Researchers then took that data and expanded the project in 2017 to include 4 varieties. The project also shifted to layering practices one by one from a low to high input management testing out which combination of practices had the best results. The next phase involved learning directly from farmers how they are managing their wheat fields. The data allowed researchers to identify management practices associated with higher yields in commercial fields. Now the researchers are taking the most common practices back into field trials and investigating how these different management systems will perform, as well as if they will break even or generate a profit.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
The Young Farmers and Ranchers Discussion Meet challenges Young Farm Bureau members to analyze agricultural issues and consider solutions that best meet the needs of the industry. The competition is designed to simulate a committee meeting where discussion and active participation are expected from each participant. Scott Feldman from Douglas County will represent Kansas at the American Farm Bureau Federation Annual Convention in January. Scott is a first-generation farmer and owner of Juniper Hill Farms, LLC, a diversified agriculture operation in Douglas County. Feldman has a passion for organic and sustainable agriculture production, food systems, and the economics of growing. He is currently on the board of directors for the Douglas County Farm Bureau and volunteers for various programs and events that the County Farm Bureau hosts for the local community. Congratulations, Scott. Kansas Farm Bureau wishes you luck in the national competition.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
The Beef Checkoff funded Beef Quality Assurance Program has developed a daily biosecurity plan for disease prevention template to help cattle producers implement biosecurity measures on their operations. The template is available digitally as a fillable PDF or can be printed for handwritten plans. The tool is designed so cattle operations can customize plans, which provides producers the flexibility in determining management practices that work best for their situation. From animal movement and worker training to pest control, the template includes all aspects that should be considered. With biosecurity top of mind, this introductory and step-by-step plan provides an opportunity for producers to have conversations with their herd veterinarian, extension agent, state BQA coordinator, or other sources about biosecurity preparedness. The BQA program, coordinated with USDA and its Secure Beef Supply Plan, an established resource for disease response training to ensure similar language and completeness. The intersection of these resources helps producers that already have biosecurity steps in place from the daily template move to an enhanced biosecurity plan, which is necessary during a potential foreign animal disease outbreak. For more information about the Beef Quality Assurance Program or the BQA Daily Biosecurity Plan, visit bqa.org.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow Research Program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Good morning, folks. Colette here with Pinion, a division of Keiko Isom. What a week it has been. Limit up on report day. The big surprise in the corn market, where the USDA revisions gave some much-needed bullish news. Lowered production and lower domestic carryout sent the market limit up Tuesday. The bean market was also given a nice climb higher Tuesday with gains over 50 cents after the USDA came in with domestic carryout right around what the trade was expecting. Wheat markets also given some friendly news Tuesday and saw 30-cent gains. To many, it seems like there is no direction but up, especially as we've seen the bean market climb $5 in 5 months. The saying goes that there are no soft landings when you climb this high, so while we know that these are great levels, what we do and how we do is arguably even more important. Harvest is a long ways away, but it's time to get that 2021 plan going and make sure you're taking care of remaining old crop. Don't let missed opportunities lead to more missed opportunities. Give us a call at 888-452 if you have questions regarding your marketing plan. We are here to help, and we know that that looks different for everyone. I'm Colette at Keiko, and I hope you have a great day.
Well, that's our show this week. You can be social with us online at kansasagreport.net or on social media. We continue to make progress with the pandemic, but we all need to do our part. Wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands several times a day. If you're not feeling well, please stay home. Let's continue to be Kansas strong. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.